Hey, I'm Jeff Goolsby, and in this video, we're gonna talk about the Roseville real estate market and go over some of my predictions that I made earlier this year and either bust them or see if they're right on track to be true. So, I'm gonna talk to you about the thing that's on everybody's mind, of course, which is pricing. What are homes selling for in the Roseville market? I'm also gonna talk about the average days on market, which is important to know if you're looking to buy a home or if you're looking to sell a home and making plans around timing. It's a big factor when most of our clients are making a move, timing. Then I'm gonna talk about what homes are selling for in comparison to what homeowners are asking for. And that's really important to determine because when you're going to make an offer, you wanna know, are homes generally selling for 100% of the asking price, 95%, or somewhere in between, 102? Like, where do I start out as an offer for this home when I don't know? And then as a seller, what should you expect to net? If you list your home for $650,000, should you expect $650,000 for an offer? Should you expect more or less? And we're gonna go over that in this video. And then I'm also gonna talk about at the end a very important data point that I'm personally paying close attention to. It's something that I mentioned in my predictions video in the past, and I would be looking at this if I were you as well, especially if you're looking to win in this real estate market. Now, before we dive into all of the data, it's gonna be a lot of me talking, just wrapping on what I think is going on in the real estate space right now here in Roseville, or at least what we've seen over the last few months and some tips on how to move forward. I wanna let you know that you can see a lot of these trends and data points for yourself. It's on our website, it's really displayed beautifully, and you can even dive into specific data on a neighborhood. So, you just go to the link that's somewhere down in the details, or you go to search.thegoolsbygroup.com and click on the market trends, or I think it's neighborhoods or city report, and you'll be able to see a lot of this data. You can even subscribe and get the emails like once a month where it gives you a breakdown on what's going on. Or of course, you can just subscribe to my channel here and then you'll get this information delivered to you every single month, along with some other cool videos about Roseville and real estate tips and tricks. Now, let's dive into this month's market update report. This is the May 2023, but also looking back and kind of checking some of the predictions that I made in the past. Okay, first up, I'm gonna talk about the thing that is on everybody's mind when they're buying or selling a home, and that is price. Now, in Roseville, as of May 2023, we have definitely seen an uptick in pricing for our median sale price, especially from where we were in December. Now, if you watch my video or my predictions video, you know that in 2022, we had basically flatlined at a median sales price of $600,000. Currently, we're up to about $615,000, a little 2% uptick in our median price. I also made a prediction in that video that we'd kind of flatline in pricing. We'd see somewhat gradual appreciation here and there, and it'd be tough to really find any massive outliers in terms of uptick in pricing, but it would basically be a normalized, somewhat of a normalized market. And that's essentially what we're seeing. Now, there's one point that I want to make to that I want you to be aware of. Right now, we've seen an uptick in price, about 2%, but what that came from was a drastic amount of pent-up demand and a very low amount of homes hitting the market. So I'll get to buyer and seller expectations in just a little bit when we start talking about percentages, but something to keep in mind is that we did see a pretty aggressive start to the year in terms of activity from demand and low supply. So I don't expect us to go up 2% necessarily every single month for the rest of the year. It's just not gonna happen that way. Prices might look a little bit more like the prices from 2021, although the percentages are going to look different. There are just less homes that are going to be selling for over asking price. Next up is the thing that most people overlook when it comes to planning to buy or sell a home, but it's the most, in my opinion, critical part, and that is timing. You don't want your home to sit on the market too long. You don't want to be too aggressive with a home that has just hit the market and maybe isn't priced well. You gotta understand how things are working out in this market in terms of, are they selling fast or slow or whatever. Now here's the challenging part. And I don't have an answer for you in this video other than you really need to look at the data. You really need to understand what the conditions of the property are and work with a professional to see what's what. But the average days on market, and I made this prediction in my video, is about 45 days. With an average days on market of about 45 days, kind of similar to like 2015, 2016. Now, 50% of the homes that are selling in less than 30 days. The other 50%, proportionately for each little chunk, are selling in 30 days or more. Now, some of them are selling in 30 to 60 days, some of them are selling from 60 to 90 days, and some of them are selling well beyond 90 days, up into 300-day range. So what that means is, how do you know? How do you know if it's a property that's going to sit for 30 days or a property that is going to be a hot one? And you really just, it's based on primarily condition of the property and the pricing of it. Is it priced well? How's the home look? That'll kind of determine where you're gonna land in terms of the averages. Moving forward, I expect to see that same pattern exist. We're kind of still in unknown territory in terms of what's gonna happen with the interest rates, what's gonna happen with inventory levels. I'll get to that in just a little bit. However, I do think that average 45 days on market is gonna hold pretty true throughout the rest of the year. And one of the last key points that I want to talk about before I get into my sort of secret data point and X factor piece of information that I'm keeping an eye on is the expectations in the marketplace. I want to talk about what homes are selling for. Right now, homes are selling for about 100% of what homeowners are asking. Now, the month prior is about 96%. The month prior to that was about 95%. I believe in my predictions video, I said that as homeowners adjust their expectations on what they're willing or able to get out of the marketplace, the percentage of original asking price versus sales price will begin to balance out and get closer to 100%. And if the sellers and agents work together to price homes correctly, the average seller should be able to still get 100% of their asking price. Again, over the last 2 decades, homes generally sell somewhere between 98 and 100%. In really good months or years, they might bump up to 101, 102 on average, and that's when basically the demand drives up the price of properties, which is kind of what we experienced over this last 2 months. We had a low amount of new homes hit the market, and we had pent-up demand driving up the price. Now, sellers beware. We are coming into summertime. There were 350 homes that were withdrawn from the market last year, that all of those properties have yet to relist so far this year. So there will be more inventory, most likely. The demand will stay relatively the same as what it is right now. We shouldn't have a whole lot of new demand in the marketplace coming. So the demand will basically flatline at where it is right now. So sellers, be careful. Don't rely solely on the activity that we've seen over the last month and get overly optimistic about what you can ask for when it comes to selling your home. You might want to keep in mind the market that we experienced over the last several months, and just be cautious when you're proceeding to list your home, and make sure you're realistic with the price that you want to list it at and the condition that your home is in. Now, the data point that I'm super focused on right now that I just touched on earlier was the 350 homes. 350 homes withdrew from the market in Roseville from July through December. Now, that's a lot of homes to be withdrawn from the market during that period of time. It's more homes than are usually withdrawn from the market throughout an entire year. In my video from earlier this year, I made a prediction that those homes would come back into the market sometime between March and July. Some of those home sellers will likely return their home to the market in the springtime. Probably not all 350, but some of them will return their home to the market. It's only May. I don't know for sure when those homes are going to be hitting the market. They haven't all come back yet, so who knows? However, I do expect more inventory. So one of the things that I'm looking at is, hey, who didn't sell their home last year? If you're a home buyer and you're discouraged about what's available on the market right now, looking at what homes were on the market last year might be a good place to start. And if you're a home seller, beware that if you're about to put your home up on the market and you know that your neighbor's home was on the market last year and they withdrew, well, they might put it back up on this year and you might have some competition to deal with. So that's a data point that I'm really focused on. A strategy that we're implementing for our buyers and sellers is definitely having all of those listings at the ready, understanding who may or may not be putting their home back on the market and reacting accordingly. Hey, thanks for watching along with my video. I hope you found some value here. Hey, if you like this video, you want more just like it, more information about the market, and especially if you want some information about Roseville, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you want to continue on with more data, more knowledge, more Roseville specific information, go check out one of my previous videos where I predicted what was going to happen in the market, and I also talk about some of these points that I made here in this video, and also recap some of like 2022 and stuff like that. So thanks for watching this video. I'm Jeff Goolsby from the Goolsby Group. It's my mission to help people win in real estate. I'll see you on the next video.